The National Film and Sound Archives has recently taken possession of the library from Film Australia, what used to be called the Commonwealth Film Unit. It's now the home of a truly fabulous film called Springtime in Canberra. We're about to see some of it. But first, Kate Evans spoke briefly with Meg Labram about the significance of the collection.
In July, we've welcomed the Film Australia Film Library of about more than 5,000 separate titles into the National Collection. And that means not only the films, but the people who've been providing really wonderful service in terms of being able to catalogue and to find those films have come to us as well.
What's the advantage of bringing these collections together?
The National Film and Sound Archives' overall collection is about 1.6 or 7 million separate items now. The Film Australia Library is over 5,000 separate film titles, and they're all films which have been produced over many decades by the various government film bodies that have existed. So they're a very special type of film. Sometimes they're strictly informational, sometimes they're training films, sometimes they're straight entertainment. And what's been missing to some extent from the main national collection here at the NFSA has been exactly that component. So what's come into us now are films that represent often Australia's history, really well presented in an objective way by the government film unit of the day, but also some of the crazy style that any of us who've seen a film made from the 50s or the 60s or the 70s or even the 80s now are often touched by just how quaint the actual manners are.
In few places in Australia does springtime come in more strikingly and colourfully than in Australia's national capital. But springtime 1964 is welcomed by a different Canberra. Canberra, the lakeside city. The city now enriched by a waterway which serves to unify and crystallise the entire concept of the national capital. But before the lake could become a reality, engineers had to embark on a detailed programme of investigation and design work, including a study of the river and its behaviour, rainfall, hydrology, the actual detailed design of the lake, the dam and the bridges. Where once small farming lands flanked the sleepy Molonglo River, Lake Burley-Griffin graces the centre of the national capital. The basic design of the lake and its essential services had been determined by field survey, and a concrete study model was constructed. In the model, there was a calculated variance of horizontal and vertical scale to allow accurate observation of normal and flood flow water characteristics. The basic requirements of the dam were also determined from the model. It had to provide adequate storage capacity, yet remain capable of discharging sudden excessive flooding to which the Molonglo River is subject. The model also influenced the final placing and the engineering specification for the two main bridges. Lake depths, contours of embankments, the positioning of ornamental ponds and children's pools, all these and many other details were decided by the behaviour of the water in the model. Before the lake could begin to form, the dam had to be built. Bridges constructed, and the bed of the lake cleared and formed. The dam was completed in September 1963. The valves closed and Lake Burley-Griffin began to fill. A long, hot, dry spell in the summer of 1963-64, however, kept Canberra waiting for its lake. However, at the end of April 1964, the flood rains began. Now the racing, spreading outlet from a 730 square miles catchment area hurrying to fill Lake Burley-Griffin. The empty floodplain, which had succeeded the small farmlets of the centre, had disappeared. The capital had become a lakeside city.